Hello, good evening. Good evening to you. I hope you had a wonderful day. And thank you for joining us for the second day of the 1 month training on emotional intelligence program organized by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. And we are organizing this training for free, 100% free. All we need is your commitment to participate in the training and your dedication to persevere to the end of the training so that you can acquire the skills, you acquire the knowledge, you can also apply the knowledge and the skills in your personal life and in your professional career growth. This is our joy, and also this is our concern that people should know, and then also should have the needed skills and knowledge to make our society a better place to live, right? Because our emotions influences the way we react and respond to issues. So if we put our emotions in check, then we'll be able to control ourselves, do what we call self-regulations to see how we can, delay and then control some of the impulses that make us to react in certain situations out of control. So um, I'm delighted to welcome you for the second day of the training. And just as our rules has been, if you join this training, we are looking at the attendance. Your attendance is how you share. When you share, we are able to know that yes, this person has participated. And then when you share, it also show that you are interested for others also to learn what you are learning so that you can be on the same page and make the society better. And then at the same time, when you share, it helps to get to someone also to know that something like this is happening here and they can also benefit from it. And so in one way or the other, you are also spreading the message of peace as well. You are contributing to spread the message. So thank you. As you have joined today, we expect you to share massively to get to people as well. Share to your loved ones, to your friends, to your colleagues in work, in the workplace. Let them also know that something like this is going on. It will benefit you, it will benefit them as well. And then at the same time, we say you should comment, make comments so that we will know that you are following, and then also to ask questions, to contribute what you understand or your own experience. Okay, how you have used emotional intelligence in the past to solve problems or to deal with situations. You can share such experience with us in your comment in the comment section, and we can read them, or we can take your questions at the end of the presentation so that we can respond to, or maybe um, answer some of the questions and make clarification where there are confusions. So thank you very much for joining us. My name is Ambassador Tavli Joshua, the Registrar, Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. On behalf of the Governing Council and the President in Council, I welcome you for this second day of the training. And I expect that we're going to have a wonderful time together. You can as well like the likes and the live as well. Just like, comment, and then share. Continue to share. So it's going to be a wonderful time here today. So yesterday we started a training on emotional intelligence, and we're able to look at what emotions are. All right, we say emotions are complex feelings or thoughts that we exhibit, right? And then we talk about several types of emotions, which we categorize them into primary, secondary, and other aspects of emotional categories of emotions, right? And then we went ahead to look at what emotional intelligence is all about. All right. We also try to see the importance of emotional intelligence, and then we look at some other areas of the topic, and then we called it a day. So today we'll be looking at the history and the theories of emotional intelligence. That's what we're going to cover in our module in our module 1 unit 2. All right. We we look at the history and the theories of emotional intelligence, how emotional intelligence came about, right? And then we are going to also look at what are the measures that are being in place to carry out, to try to measure the validity and the applicability of the emotional intelligence. How valid is emotional intelligence? How reliable is emotional intelligence? We have some of the measuring tools, something what we call the theories, all right? And so we'll try to see how we give an understanding, get an understanding from the explanations that we are going to get here today. And then we'll also look at some of the criticisms, despite the fact that we are talking about emotional intelligence as an important tool to help you in your personal growth and also in professional development. It also have limitations. There are criticism here and there that we are going to take into consideration. And for those of you that participated in peace education, some of you have started receiving your certificate today. Congratulations. That's at least the first batch. Almost all of them have received their certificate, remaining few of them. And then I believe that then second batch will also receive theirs soon. And then everybody will have their own certificate. The next one is going to be easier. After the training, you just after you pass your exams, you go and enter your details on the platform, and then your certificate will be processed from there. So thank you very much for taking your time to join us. So if you join us, like we say, you continue to share, comment to so that we can know that you are part of the meeting. So we're going to look at the history and theories of emotional intelligence. That's what we're going to cover in unit 2. And we are also going to look at other issues as well. So let's look at the evolution of the concept of emotional intelligence. How does the concept of the emotional intelligence evolve over time? Do you understand? How does it come? How does it came about? All right. How does it come into being? All right. What facilitated? What influenced the concept of emotional intelligence? All right, let's look at what we have to say here. The concept of emotional intelligence has evolved over time with contributions from various researchers and scholars in the field of psychology, education, and organizational behavior. All right, these are uh, the proponent. These are where the proponents of this whole concept came from psychology, from education, and then from organizational behavior. All right, because those are interested in how the employees behave in organizational setting, want to know the attitude that the employees or the working environment, what kind of behavior people exhibit in a working environment. So they were interested to know. Do you understand? So they begin to look at what are the concepts to apply in the organizational setting, and then also in education, what makes people to learn easier, learn faster, and then what makes others to learn in a slow or some dull, and then all those kind of things. What could have influenced such kind of attitudes or such kind of learning behaviors? Do you understand? And then also psychology, the way people respond to issues. Do you understand? In their environment, in their surrounding. So all of those things facilitate and influence the concept of emotional intelligence. So these are scholars in this field and thought it wise to see that they put something together that can, be looked into to see how it impacts the behavior of people, either in the working environment or in a learning environment or just generally in the course of interaction in the environment. So this is what we're going to look at. So we have an overview of the development of the concept of emotional intelligence. So let's look at the early psychological theories, all right? So we look at the groundwork for emotional intelligence can be traced back to early psychological theories that emphasize the importance of emotions in human behavior and decision making. Psychologists such as William James and Carl Jung explore the role of emotions in cognition and personality development. Do you understand? In cognition, that is, talk about cognitive abilities. All right, we have how um, um, talk about um, when we talk about cognitive abilities, we're talking about the way people reason logically. Do you understand? How people reason logically and those things. Do you understand? Ability to reason logically and then take decisions. Do you understand? So these are cognitive abilities or problem solving abilities or analytical skills. Do you understand? So these are cognitive behaviors or skills. Do you understand? And then we'll talk about issues like uh, we'll talk about cognitive abilities. We also look at issues that has to do with personality development. All right. So how people these are psychological and traits. Do you understand? That has to that influences people's behaviors. So this is what we're talking about. So let's look at Salovey and Myers model. uh, Salovey and Myers Modi. In the early 1990s, psychologists Peter Salovey and John D. Myers introduced the concept of emotional intelligence as a form of social intelligence, as a form of what social intelligence just started as a course of interaction, how people interact with build relationship effectively and interact so smoothly. So this is what they were talking about. So what motivate and interest them to behave in a particular manner? Do you understand? So it was just a form of social intelligence. That's how it started. That involves the ability to monitor one's own and others people's emotion and discriminate among them and use this information to guide thinking and behavior. All right, how people think, how people behave. Do you understand? They were interested to know what comes into people's mind that they behave the way they behave, okay, or what make them to think what they are thinking about, what kind of behavior. Do you understand? So this way their motivation, all right? They proposed a model of emotional intelligence that included four branches. That is perceiving emotions, using emotions to facilitate thoughts, understanding emotions, and managing emotions. So those were the four branches, major branches they considered. All right. So let's look at them. So then we move from there to another gentleman that also came up with his own theory as well. Talk about Daniel. We are still going to go into details of it, all right? But these theories, these researchers that create the foundation for what we are going to look into the details of it, all right, form the background or the historical aspect of the emotional intelligence, and that's why we are still going to look at them. We'll still look at them in details. All right. So we'll talk about Daniel Kahneman's popularization. Daniel Kahneman, a science journalist, played a key role in popularizing the concept of emotional intelligence with his book, Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than Intelligent Quotient. Do you understand? That is IQ. Published in 1995, Coleman expanded on Salovey and Myers' model and emphasized the importance of emotional intelligence in personal and professional success. Do you understand? So he is like what Myers and Salovey did was gave him a platform upon which he can take it further to expand and then give more meaning to what they were trying to explain. Do you understand? So he highlighted the role of emotional intelligence in areas such as leadership, decision making, and relationship management. So you can see they were what Salovey and Myers did was just to look at how people perceive emotions, look at how people understand emotions, how people use emotions and manage emotions. But he took it further. He was looking at how we can use emotional intelligence in leadership, how we can apply it in making having to exhibit uh, effective leadership abilities. Do you understand? Effective and informed, infectious decisions making, and also relationship management. All right, how we can maintain cordial, all right, and mutual, effective, productive relationship. This is what motivated this man. So he expanded a bit from what Mayers and Salovey did. So development of emotional intelligence framework, subsequent research and scholarships have led to the development of various frameworks and models of emotional intelligence, including the work of psychologists such as Robin Baron and Daniel Coleman. These frameworks have focused on the assessment, development, and the application of emotional intelligence in different contexts, such as education, healthcare, and in business. All right. So let's look at the integration into education and workplace. How do we come to integrate emotional intelligence in education and in the workplace? So the concept of emotional intelligence has gained traction in educational settings with a growing emphasis on teaching social and emotional skills to students. All right. In the workplace, emotional intelligence is recognized as a key factor in leadership, team dynamics, and organizational success. Many companies now incorporate emotional intelligence training into their leadership development programs. Do you understand? So many organizations organize training on leadership development, on emotional intelligence, preparing their employees for leadership. Do you understand? Yes, so that they can learn how to, carry everybody along, organize productive team members. Do you understand? And then also build effective teams. And then we'll talk about the issue of teaching students social and emotional skills in schools, how children can interact with one another, how to grade, how to interact in the culturally mannered uh, environment. Do you understand? So exhibit such kind of attitude. So this is what we are talking about here. So let's look at the critics and then further research why emotional intelligence has garnered widespread interest and application. It has also faced criticisms and debate. Some researchers have questioned the measurement and predictive validity of emotional intelligence assessment. Ongoing research continues to explore the nuisance of emotional intelligence, its impact on various outcomes, and its practical implications in different contexts. So all of those arguments are there. But let's look at different models. Let's try to examine some of the models available in emotional intelligence, the ones that have been developed over time. All right, let's look at the one developed by Salovey and Myers 4-branch model. Salovey and Myers 4-branch model of emotional intelligence. What does it say? It's one of the early and influential models in the field of emotional intelligence. And what does it talk about? It was developed by psychologists Peter Salovey and John D. Myers in the early 1990s. This model outlines 4 key components of emotional intelligence, and this is what we're going to look at them. So we're going to look at each and every of those components One is perceiving emotions. How do we perceive emotions? The ability to accurately perceive emotions in oneself and others, as well as in objects, acts, stories, music, and other stimuli. Do you understand? So, object can also stimulate certain action, right? Act can also stimulate certain actions, right? And then stories. When we hear stories, they stimulate certain actions. Some of you hear, we hear a story, you go to war. Do you understand? Just because you heard a story, you go to war. Do you understand? Some of you, you listen to a particular story, you get sad instantly. Do you understand? And then there are stories that you hear and then you get excited. Do you understand? They moved you, right? So this is how this kind of stories stimulate certain actions. So how do you perceive emotions when you listen to stories? Do you understand? Yeah, as in, for instance, you yourself, you are listening to a story, suddenly you begin to feel sad. Do you understand? So how do you, but some of you may not even perceive it. But it's good that you perceive how you are feeling when you are listening to a particular story. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling happy? Or you are just in a conflicting situation? You are not, that is, you are not happy, you are not sad, but you don't know, just you are just indifferent. Do you understand? So is that how you are feeling? Do you understand? So when you listen to music, what does the music tells you? It's music. Sometimes music tells you, music has spirit, right? That's what we believe. All right. So when you listen to a particular music, what does it comes into your mind? What's happening to you? Do you feel like dancing? Do you feel like crying? Or do you feel elevated? Do you understand, by the sound of the music? Or do you feel relief from stress or from anger, from some? Do you understand? That's why we say that um, in our conflict management, we talk about what we call um, the ABC triangle. That is in one of the conflict analysis tools. Talk about the ABC triangle. We talk about the attitude. We talk about the behavior. Talk about the context. You understand? And so we talk about how people behave in certain areas in confrontation to conflicts, and then we talk about the issue of how people try to respond to issues. So, and then we say that we respond based on our five senses. All right, that is our taste, that's sound, taste, feeling. We talk about our sight. Do you understand? So, how does this help you to regret when you face conflict or you are angry? Do you understand? Some of you, when you listen to music, it reduces, you know, anger or anxiety or stress. Do you understand? So you go and listen to the music that makes you happy. Do you understand? That's what I'm talking about here. So how do you perceive emotions when you are listening to either music, stories, or things like that? This is what I'm trying to talk about here now. I'm giving you just examples. I'm trying to explain it in such a way that you will understand it best. Because when you listen to music, they tell you something, all right? When you listen to music, they tell you something, all right? So when you listen to music, they tell you something. When you listen to music or stories, they tell you something. This involves recognizing and interpreting facial expressions, body language, and other cues that convey emotions. All right. So this involves recognizing and interpreting facial expressions, body language, and other cues that convey emotions. So that is about perceiving emotions. So let's look at using emotions. Using emotions. The ability to harness emotions to facilitate thinking, problem solving, and decision making. This includes the ability to understand how emotions can impact cognitive processes, and using emotions to guide behavior and adapt to changing circumstances. So you can use your emotions, all right, to, you know, be able to think productively, think critically. Do you understand? And make informed decisions or solve problems analytically. Do you understand? You solve problems in analytical order. That is, you don't just look at problem and then you just give up. I cannot do it. I cannot deal with this. What kind of challenge is this? Do you understand? No. Emotional intelligence help you to use your emotions to address a particular problem. It also helps you to, take informed decisions. Emotions are short, they are short-term expressions. Do you understand? But if you can manage them very well, they can help you to manage, to be able to take informed decisions and solve problems. Somebody was asking the difference between what's the difference between emotional intelligence and character. Oh, do you understand? What is the emotions, the difference between emotions and character? Do you understand? Or somebody was asking whether they are the same or not. So you see, emotions are short-term expressions that that we express when certain things, stimulate them to happen, whether from within or from outside. But when we talk about character, character is the whole of a person's personality, and that make and inform his value choices. Do you understand? So it has to do with a long-term something. So that's why some people say is that emotions may drive us to take certain steps. Do you understand? Take certain actions. But what keep us going is our character. Do you understand? It's character that make you. Emotions are very short terms, but when you say somebody is determined to succeed, determination to succeed make you a, a person of character. Do you understand? Or a person of principles, or there are certain values that you put in place and you honor those values. You cannot flirt over them. That is, there's nothing that will come and flex those values. Do you understand? Because you have defined them and they're there. So that makes you somebody who call somebody can say this person is somebody of standard character. Do you understand? Or somebody who is a principled person. Do you understand? So that is refers to your character. But emotions can be, they flirt. They can change. They can just, there's a mood. So we react based on the mood per time and in the context where we face it. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So let's look at other. So we're talking about the four branches of Solovey and Mayer's model. So we have talked about talk about perceiving emotions, talk about using emotions. Like we say, if you are just joining us, make sure you share and also comment and also like to just get it across to people so that they can be part of this meeting next time. So understanding emotions is also another branch of the four branches of models of Solovey's and the Myers four branches of models. So we're talking about understanding emotion. We have talked about perceiving emotions. We'll talk about using emotions. Now we're talking about understanding emotions, the ability to comprehend the complex relationship between emotions. The complex relationship between emotions. We talk about different categories of emotions. We say some of them are very complex, right? When we're talking about emotions like love, all right? We say they are complex, and then we talk about the primary ones like all those happiness, joy, or those ones. They are just primary ones. Do you understand? So, but we say these emotions, they influence each other. Do you understand? So the complexity make them sometimes too. Some of them can be, their influence can be subtle. Do you understand? Some of them can be so obvious. Do you understand? So, but you have to understand per time your mood, your experience. Do you understand? How how are you responding to a particular situation per time? So that's what understanding the emotion means. So your ability to comprehend the complex relationship between emotions, recognize the causes and consequences of emotions. You understand? And understand how emotions evolve over time is what we're talking about. So when we talk about say somebody, I say when you say to somebody that I love you, all right, what does that mean to you? Is that how you love easily? Yes, we have a place for agape love. That is fine. That's a natural love that you see anybody, you just you don't need to hate anybody for any reason. That is fine. But when we talk about love in terms of maybe an intimate relationship, do you understand? So there may be certain factors that may influence that to happen. So do you understand when those factors are in play? This is what we're talking about here now. Those emotions that can facilitate that feeling of love, that you tell somebody that I love you. Do you try to understand the the complexity, the so because now let me tell you something. Sometimes you may be feeling that you love someone, but at the same time you are afraid to approach the person you feel you love. You are beginning to see how these emotions influence each other, right? The emotion of fear, the emotion of maybe timidity, or the emotion of shyness, the emotion uh, of lack of confidence. Do you understand? And then things like that, they begin to influence you. So the complexity. But this is somebody that maybe deep in your mind, in your heart, you are feeling that I love this person, but other factors are limiting the ability to confront this person and express that feeling. Do you understand? So this is what we're talking about here. So understanding the relationship and how the complexity of the relationship between this and among these emotions can give you an advantage to help to deal with certain situations, take informed decisions, and address certain issues. This is what we're talking about here. So this branch involves emotional literacy, emotional literacy, that is, and the capacity to label and differentiate between various emotions. Do you understand? So sometimes it may not be love, and that's where sometimes you see, sometimes it may be infatuation, or it may be just lost, but somebody is saying love. Do you understand? So it's left for you to know whether it's love or it's just a mere infatuation or lust. Do you understand? So you have to understand the working of these emotions. Do you understand? It's very, very important. Very, very important. So let's look at the last branch of the four branch model of this Myers theory. Is we'll talk about managing emotions. Managing emotions. All right. The ability to regulate and manage one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others. This includes the capacity to regulate emotions effectively, cope with stress, adapt to changing situations, and maintain emotional well-being. Now, the example I gave you concerning the issue between lust or infatuation or love, do you understand? Sometimes you may feel as if you love somebody, but maybe if you can be able to control yourself to monitor to see if this is truly love, you discover that over time you lose interest. Do you understand? The person you were feeling that you love, you discover that you don't love. That's why when people say love at the first sight, then you have to question that the validity of that love at the first sight. Do you understand? Yes, people do express feelings like that. Say, I fall in love with you. And just the first time I sighted you. Do you understand? Oh, I met you. I fall in love like that instantly. Do you understand? So now the question is, how valid is this your love over a period of time? Let's give it a time. Let's say 2 months, 1 month, 1 week. will still the love be there? Or 1 month, 1 year? Do you understand? That's why sometimes when people say they're in love, but sometimes they marry, well, after they marry, 6 months of marriage crashed. Uh, you know, marriage, they have marriage issues, they begin to quarrel, they begin to disagree, they begin to have express different things. Do you understand? So now the question is, the love you were expressing, what's the validity? So this is, can say the emotions. Do you understand? So sometimes our emotions, if we do not put them in check, we will push ourselves into something that is not really what it is. Do you understand? That's why managing, that's understanding our emotion and also managing them is very critical. Do you understand? So you have to manage your emotion. That's why sometimes even like for instance the issue of gratification, like maybe you have certain money, it's like they are just pulling you to go and use the money and do something. It's like you will not rest until you spend this money. Do you understand? That is, you cannot control your emotions. It's like money with you. Then several things are just coming into your mind, into your head. Oh, let me go shopping. Let me go this one. Oh, do you understand? All those kind of things. Let me go acting. Do you understand? Let me just take someone out. Do you understand? So before until you spend the money finish, before you will now come back to your senses. So, but if you can be able to manage your emotion and control your emotion, you will know that there's this money is not to be spent anyhow. You have to use it for certain things. Do you understand? So that's how it works. So let's continue so that we'll meet up with time. Um, let's look at some of the other theories. Let's look at Daniel Kahneman's mixed model of emotional intelligence. So, like we said earlier, Daniel Goleman's, he built his own on the foundation laid by Salovey and Myers. Do you understand? So let's look at what he said, um, or this theory is saying. We say that this theory is built upon the work of Salovey and Myers' four-branch model, but expands the concept of emotional intelligence to include a broader set of competencies. All right. That's in terms of leadership, in terms of decision making. Do you understand? Goleman's model online in his book, Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ, published in 1995, identified 5 key components of emotional intelligence. And what are those key components of his own emotional intelligence? Talk about self-awareness. Self-awareness, all right? This involves recognizing and understanding one's own emotions. That is, you understand your emotions. You understand the strength of that your emotion. You understand the weakness of that your emotion, and the value and the goals attached to each of those your emotions. Do you understand? So now, when you are able to understand the emotion, your own emotions, now, for instance, now, what is the motivation for you to join this training? All right. What is the goal? What is the value? What is the challenge? What is the weakness? And what is the strength? Do you understand? What motivated you to join this training? So, self-aware individuals are attuned to their inner emotional state and how these emotions influence their thoughts and behaviors. Okay, so once you are that, like for instance, like me now, as I'm here now, if you say, oh, let's hang out, let's go and take have time in a joint, I will tell you that I have meeting by 7 online to impact lives and knowledge. I don't have time to go and have time to enjoy like that. Do you understand? I have, there's something that is pursuing me and driving me. Is more than having fun or having time at the joint. Do you understand? I feel that we should have peace in our society, and that's what is driving me. So it's driving more crazier than having fun. Do you understand? So making society more beautiful is what is driving me, and it's more than just having fun. So it's better as you remain here than to have fun. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So self-regulation refers to the ability to manage and regulate one's emotions, impulses, and reactions in different situations. Now, self-regulations help you to put anger, excitement, or overexcited. We use terms like overexcitement. Somebody is overexcited. Do you understand? Or somebody is or when we look at issues like depression, all right? So what causes depression? What kind of what makes someone to experience the state of depression, or what we call um anxiety, all right? Anxiety. So anxiety, all right? Anxiety or anger. When somebody is so angry, so angry, like vibrating, have you seen somebody so angry that is vibrating that he cannot even, he don't want to listen to anything, doesn't want to, doesn't, he's just shouting, vibrating, and doesn't want to listen to anybody. Do you understand? That kind of person lack what we call self-regulation. That is, he or she cannot regulate his own emotion or her own emotions. Do you understand? Or someone is just over excited and then forget, just being carried away and forget any other thing that is happening around. Do you understand? We have people like that. Or people so depressed that they don't want to interact. They just excluded themselves, just isolate themselves, and then hide somewhere. And then sometimes before you know it, they commit suicide. Do you understand? So that's what I'm talking about here now. So self-regulation. So when you regulate your emotions, you can be able to, you know, deal with those impulses, and then deal with all those what would call it involves controlling disruptive emotion. That is anger. Those, anger is a disruptive. Overexcitement is also a disruptive because sometimes somebody is overexcited to a point in the environment. The person is not even aware that it's creating confusion and distraction. Do you understand? Because out of excitement. And then we talk about adapting to changing circumstances, and managing, composure under pressure. Even when you are under pressure, you can still compose yourself. Let me give you one example now. If, for instance, now, if they report now that you have lost a family friend, a family member, a relation, and then maybe the wife and the husband are in the house and they receive this news, you see the reaction of the husband will be different from the reaction of the woman. Do you understand? So so a man can, even under pressure, can still compose and take certain decision, but the reaction of the woman may be different. Do you understand? So this is what it means. So, but we can all control our emotions. Do you understand? There are some women that, okay, even though they receive a good news, for instance, now it's a good news that if it were another woman, they will just hear they receive the news, they will call their husband and tell them that this is the news I received. Do you understand? Okay, assuming for instance now you have not been pregnant, you married for 10 years, no pregnancy, and then um and they say, okay, you have fibroid issues and all of that, and then suddenly you went to the hospital to go and do a test, maybe just to confirm certain things, and then they discover that you're pregnant. 10 years of barrenness. Do you understand? You have no child in your marriage at all, and then you get this result. How many of you can hold it until you get home before you tell your husband? Some of you right in the hospital there, in fact, you will not even leave the lab. Right in the lab, you call your husband and tell him the good news, right? But there are some women that can still keep that. And let me tell you, I know of a woman that just kept the news. She collected the result from that hospital, went to another hospital to do the test again. After she finished all these two tests, collected the result, waited for the husband to come back before she could explain to break the news to the husband. So you can see there are so this is what we call self-regulations. You understand? She was not being carried away by the excitement. She was 10 years of barrenness and you're confirmed pregnant. How will you react? But she was able to compose herself to make sure that this is well confirmed before she will break the news. You understand? That's what it means. That's why sometimes we are overexcited and we break news that are fake news. Do you agree with me? You are overexcited and then you are spreading a fake news. You saw a news and you spread it. Somebody sent something to me that this presenter at a channel television, this politics, this guy, that he was sacked based on a particular statement that he made. And then I asked him, when he sent me, I asked him, did you confirm that it's true that he's being sacked? That's what I asked the person that sent the video to me. He said yes, he confirmed that he's being sacked. Do you understand? So I said I didn't say anything. I just keep quiet. Few days after, I was hearing that the guy he came back and he was saying that he was not sacked, it was just fake news and all of that. Do you understand? So this is how we spread news after either excitement or sentiment. So, but we need to control and regulate our emotions, right? So let's move forward. We are looking at motivation. Okay, talk about motivation. Another aspect that Coleman tried to advance is motivation. Say motivation in Coleman's model involves harnessing emotions to achieve goals. Right? What are those things that are driving you? Right? You harness them to achieve your goals. That is persisting in the face of challenges. Right? Demonstrating strong drive to success, to succeed. That is something is pushing you to go on. That is, you may not have network to join this meeting, but you are just struggling to join. That is, you want to be in this meeting, all right? You want to join this training. You want to, because something is driving you. You want to, at the end of the day, maybe it may be this certification that is driving you, or it may be the knowledge that you want to acquire that is driving you. Do you understand? But something is motivating you to connect. Something is motivating you to join the meeting. Do you understand? So that's what we're talking about here. Something motivates you. So when you harness your emotions, they help you to achieve certain goals, right? So because maybe network may frustrate you and you get angry and then you say, "Kai, let me even forget about this thing, sir." You understand? There are people that may get frustrated and say, "Let me even forget about this meeting." But there are others that, despite the network challenges, despite the fact that they may not even have data, they will still find a way to get data to connect to this meeting. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, right? So what Coleman is saying is that if empathy will help you to put yourself in the shoes of others as well, understand the perspective of others, understand how others feel. All right, that's what it means. So empathetic individuals as key at recognizing and responding to the emotions of others, which is crucial for building strong relationship and effective communication. So when you are able to understand how others feel, you'll be able to interact with them better. All right. Are we together? I hope you guys are following. Okay, before I continue, somebody is asking question now. Somebody is asking question. So please, sir, why do people? Let me just take is let me take this question before we continue. So please, sir, why do people cry? Why do people cry when they are happy? Why do people cry when they are happy? Do you understand? So this is what we call overexcitement now. Do you understand? They are overexcited. All right. So they are overexcited to a point that there's what we call tears of joy. Tears of joy. So they cannot control it. Tears just start flowing because of joy and happiness. So it's like that. So let's look at social skills. Social skills encompasses a range of interpersonal competencies, including communication, conflict resolutions, teamwork, and leadership. Individuals with strong social skills are adept at building and maintaining relationships, influencing others, and navigating social situations effectively. So once you are skillful in socially, all right, you can influence people, you can interact with people in a mutual and beneficial way. You can, whatever you want people to do for you, they will do. That's why we have good politicians, all right? They always win election because they know how to influence people. They know how to carry people along. Do you understand? They know how to get people to do what they want to do, all right? So let's move forward. So we're looking at, we are done with the Coleman model. Let's look at another theory developed by Robin Ballon. Is a psychologist who developed the Baron emotional quotient inventory. That is the Baron emotional quotient inventory. He used his name. So, which assesses emotional and social intelligence based on his model. That is talking about emotional social intelligence is concerned about emotion and the way as well as the social aspect of it, all right, the intelligent aspect of it. So Baron's model emphasizes a broader area of emotional and social competencies that contribute to overall well-being and success. So let's look at what he says. Talk about intrapersonal skills. Intrapersonal skills, that is skills skills that are from within oneself. Do you understand? We'll talk about self-regard. That's confidence and self-respect. That's you respect yourself so much, you regard yourself well. That is, it gives you confidence. You speak with so much confidence, and you work so with confidence. That's you just like yourself. You respect yourself. Do you understand? You don't want to put yourself into anything that will put you under pressure. You just like yourself, self-respect. Do you understand? People, when people see people like that, they say they are full of themselves. Is you know what? This is how you used to describe this kind of people, right? Full of themselves. It's just full of themselves. But that is why that's what we call intrapersonal skills. Do you understand? And then we'll talk about emotional self-awareness. Yes, recognizing and understanding one's own emotions. Assertiveness, expressing feelings, beliefs, and thoughts openly and constructively. That is, there are some people, no matter how tensions is the situation, you cannot see them vibrating. No, they compose themselves. That is, it's like they have mastered their emotions. So no matter how pressured, no matter how tense the situation is, they still compose themselves and respond in a constructive manner. Do you understand? You cannot catch them shouting. You cannot catch them reacting so aggressive. they compose and answer you in a constructive manner. It doesn't matter the level of provocation. Do you understand? Self assertiveness. Do you understand? So these are the skills that we call the intrapersonal skills. They are from within. Do you understand? They are from within. Then we'll talk about interpersonal. So these are the skills that are developed at the course of interaction. That is empathy, understanding and considering others' feelings and perspectives, social responsibility, being socially responsible and responsive to others' needs. That is interpersonal relationships, building and maintaining positive relationship with others. All right. So this is what we're talking about here. So this is interpersonal skills. So if you have intrapersonal skills, that's one, you have self-value. That is, you first and foremost value and respect yourself, and you enjoy the way you do your things with confidence and so much composure and assertiveness. All right, and then that's fine. That's one. You need that kind of skills, and then also the skills. Another aspect of skills you need is the ones that help you to interact with people in a cultural manner. Do you understand? That also influence and build them as well. So that is what we're talking about today. We'll talk about stress management. Stress management is also another aspect that Baron also considered. He says stress tolerance, coping with stressful situations and managing emotions effectively. Because sometimes, do you know what stress does to us? Sometimes stress makes us to be angry and aggressive. Do you understand? It also make us to get irritated easily. It also make us to be frustrated. Do you understand? So it also make us to be confused. It also make us to have mental problem. You understand? So it's what we're saying here is that stress tolerance, it helps you, that is your emotions. If you are able to develop your skills to a point, you can able to regulate your stress, control your stress by regulating how you react to certain um, situations. It doesn't matter how stressful you are. Do you understand? Because some of you now, when you go home now, you just go and be shouting with, maybe you had a long and stressful day, you come home and then you begin to shout at your children, quarrel with everybody around, just just quarreling and then making trouble around because you are stressed. Do you understand? So you are lacking what we call emotional intelligence. All right. So you need to develop your skills. Then impulses, controlling impulses and emotions to make rational decisions. Some of you take decisions so irrationally. Do you understand? Because what happens is that you are overstressed, and so a little thing just make you angry, and then you just take decision that you shouldn't take. Do you understand? Some of you will carry even some. Do you know that some people, even parents carry knife and choke their own children because of stress, because they were not able to. Or some pour them hot water. You just carry hot water on fire, pour on your child because you could not just control how you feel. Do you understand? So dealing with those your impulses are very important. Then talk about adaptability. Baron also talk about adaptability. That's reality testing, evaluating situations objectively and accurately. Flexibility, adapting to change. That is where there's need for you to change, you change, all right? Where there to cope with situation you did. So general mood, how do you feel generally? That is optimism and happiness. Do you understand? Just be happy, just be optimistic. Don't be so negative. That's don't be so, you know, um maintain high level of positivity. Yeah, because some of us think negatively. We are just thinking about the negative aspect of life. We are just so pessimistic. Do you understand? So pessimistic about life. We are going for an interview, but we are so pessimistic. We don't know. We are not sure. We are not confident that we're going to get this job. So just let me go. Whatever happen, will happen. I have not been so lucky to get job all these years. Let me just give another try. You are not just. Don't express it like that. You are already defeating your your competence. You are giving yourself reasons why you are not going to do well in the interview. So what do? Speak positively to yourself. All right. Yes, I know I can do it. All right. I know this is my time. I'm going to get this job. Do you understand? So just speak something. Just be optimistic. Okay, that's just a general mood. All right. Just be optimistic about life generally. That is going to be better. Even if it's difficult today, tomorrow is going to be better, right? So that's it. So talk about problem solving skills. Problem solving, effectively identifying and solving problems. Yes, the only way you can solve problems is when you are able to identify problem. Recognizing and acknowledging place gives you the about reality testing evaluate situation based on certain affiliation or affinities. Some of us we don't want to criticize certain things because this person is from my place, or this person is my religious person, so no matter what happens, no matter what happens, let me just accommodate. Do you understand? So no, just be objective. When you are objective when you are objective in situation that's supposed to be objective in kind of analysis to bring a solution, okay, and that's the insensitive aspect or even the government. Do you understand? Government know that things are not just going well, but they are so insensitive and they are not so objective about the situation. Do you understand? They are just making political statements. So these are the things. So, Baron's model of emotional social intelligence highlights the interconnectedness of emotional and social competencies and their influence on individuals' overall functioning and well-being. So that's what this theory is all about. Let's move forward. Let's look at the next one. The next one is the mixed model of emotional intelligence developed by Myers, Salovey, and Caruso. Okay, builds upon their area 4 branch model. That is, these people come to work more on their area theory that we talked about. So they look at so they try to work more on it. This model focuses on a broader set of emotional competencies that contribute to an individual ability to perceive, understand, use, and manage emotions effectively. So let's look at what they cover here. Perceiving emotions, which we taught in their own first theory. And then we also look at, so in this case, they say also that how do you perceive emotions based on people's facial expression? We'll talk about the non-verbal actions here. Now, people facial expressions, all right? You are talking to someone and then the person is maybe squeezing face. What does that tell you? Do you understand? Or is smiling, or is quiet. It's not saying anything. Do you understand? It tells you what meaning do you read from that? Then vocal tunes and then body languages. Also, maybe gesture. Just the way no, I'm gesturing my hands now. Tells you something that I'm explaining something, right? So facilitating thought, all right. So they add one thing here now, facilitating thought. All right, this company refers to using emotion to facilitate cognitive processes. That is the ability to reason logically and then also solve problems. Do you understand? So this is what we're talking about here. And then take informed decisions, think critically. This is what we're talking about here. Facilitation. There are facilitating procedures that help you to think and reason very well. Then we'll talk about understanding emotions. Understanding emotion, which we also mentioned, managing emotions, and then emotional facilitation of thought. This company highlights the role of emotions in enhancing cognitive processes or influencing decision making. and which we have also talked about. The emotional understanding involves the capacity to understand the nuisance of emotions, recognize emotional patterns, and interpret emotional information accurately. So the way your emotions influence you, the pattern with which you sweat to issues, you have to understand them. Emotional management also are some of the things. So this is what this book came out to add to what the area did. So let's look at threat emotional intelligence. Refers to constellation of emotional self-perception located at the lower levels of personality hierarchies. It is conceptualized as a constellation of emotional self-perceptions and disposition located at the lower level of personality hierarchy. So what are we looking at here? We are looking at the way-being, all right? This facet refers to the individual's ability to perceive and express positive emotions, maintain a positive mood, and cope effectively with stress, all right? So it doesn't matter how stressful you are, you can still cope. You can still, you know, just try to calm down. There are certain things that you can do. You can just take a deep breath, and then you just leave, calm down, or you can just take certain things like or listen to music, or the things that excite you the most, you do them, and then they can help you to reduce the stress and move on. Then self-control. Self-control. One of the skills that we need, all of us need, is self-control. You understand? Or what we can call self-regulation. Self-control. Have a self-control. You must. Some of us respond to issues. I saw one video. I saw one video today. A security man in in a particular estate stop somebody who has happens to have a house in the estate, own a house in the estate, and he wanted to check the boots of the person. That's the person is coming back from work, and they say this person is a lawyer with the Federal Ministry of Justice, and then that's the person who work with the Federal Ministry of Justice. So he's coming back to from work, and then the security man at the gate want to check his boot. And this person was just the way the person was responding and reacting. I was wondering, sir, what is the problem? If the man asks you, the security man you put at the gate want to check your boot, what is wrong about it? Even though you own a house in that estate, does not mean that you are safe. Do you understand? So if you want to check, if he has the instruction, if you give him the instruction that he should check the boot of everybody coming into the estate, then why should you be an exception? Even if he knows you. So what is the difficult thing to say, okay, check my boots, this is my boots, and then you go your own way? But he was threatening the security man, insulting him, just bragging, saying, I own a house in this estate. And do you know the question the security man asked him? Are you the owner of the estate now? Do you understand? So if the owner of the estate gave instruction that every car coming in should be checked, it doesn't matter who. And then you own a house in the estate, you don't want your cars to be checked. So if anybody carry anything, any explosive devices or anything, and just enter, you will still come back and accuse this security man for not doing their job. Do you understand? So these are the things that we're talking about here. So self-control. So this man did not exhibit any form of self-control at all. As a lawyer working with the Federal Ministry of Justice, you see how he was insulting the security man, bragging with the security man. So, so you don't need to brag. You don't need to say it. The difference is clear. You don't need to even say it. So what do you waste your time? Why saying that he will sue the security man? It doesn't call for it. Lack of self-control. Do you understand? You may be provoked. Yes, it's true that you have a house. You may be even popular in the estate. Yes, but you have maybe this is a security man. You put him there for your own safety, right? So if he asks you to check your own boots, you shouldn't be sad. Maybe because you are not even the owner of the estate. Maybe the estate owner says he should, or maybe the organization that employs him says check everybody's car that enters here and goes out. Do you understand? So and the guy was just obeying the instruction. So it doesn't matter. He didn't call for that kind of insult. Do you understand? So, but these are the issue we're talking about: self-control. Self-control is what make you, even when you are provoked as a wife, as a husband, you still take a deep breath, or just you swallow. That's what we call swallow saliva. Just you swallow your saliva and then and then just calm down and then respond, not react. Respond, not react. Do you understand? I don't know whether you're following me. So now we talk about self-control, talk about emotionality. That is, this facet refers to the individual's ability to perceive, express, and understand emotions in themselves and others. Social ability, all right? The ability to socialize and build relationship and show empathies are the things that we're talking about. So lastly, we are going to look at criticisms and controversies surrounding emotional intelligence. What are the criticisms? People just look at it and say that measurement and assessment of emotional intelligence may be uh, inaccurately done, or the validity may not, the reliability and the validity and the cross-cultural application of the emotional intelligence may not be achievable. Then some talk about the conceptual confusions, all right? That, okay, there's no universally acceptable definition for emotional intelligence. So, therefore, it can create ambiguities and then misunderstanding. So, people also talk about the issue of overemphasis on emotional intelligence as a panacea for career success, professional and personal success, and all of that. So they say it's overemphasized and simplified. Then we'll talk about cultural variability. So people have concern because of cultural differences. All right, they say that what may be acceptable in a particular culture may not necessarily be acceptable in a particular culture. So this make emotional intelligence to be limited in this regard. Then we'll talk about predictive validity, all right? How predict correctly emotional intelligence can predict how people's emotion, how you can perceive somebody's emotion accurately, or you can perceive it accurately. All those things or how you can predict certain behaviors accurately. All these things can, limit the applicability and the validity of emotional intelligence. And then we'll talk about ethical concerns. There are ethical concerns related to how emotional intelligence assessment are used, particularly in employment. In employment settings, critics argue that the use of emotional intelligence tests for hiring or promotion decisions may lead to biases. Do you understand? Discrimination or misuse of personal information. So, because there are some of the personal information that you need to submit and all of that. So, but despite these criticisms and the controversies, emotional intelligence continues to be a topic of interest and research in psychology, education, and organizational behavior. Okay, so despite this criticism, emotional intelligence still have its own place, all right, and we still need it to control how we feel, how we respond, how we react to issues. Do you understand? How we behave in certain situations, how we adapt and and then deal with situations. So this is what we're talking about here. So this is what we are going to cover for today. Tomorrow we are going to be looking at assessing emotional intelligence. How do we assess emotional intelligence? And we'll cover other aspects on this topic tomorrow, right? So we'll look at how we assess emotional intelligence. So I'm going to go through your comment sections. I will check if I will see questions. Um, Quickly, I'll rattle through them as much as possible, and then we'll move forward. I have a contribution. Somebody is saying emotional intelligence cut across stress management and self care for professional due to occasional distressing at work. Show deep breathing alleviate tensions. Taking brief pauses to rest. Avoid assumptions. Active listening are some of the things that Alex Akinyemi is also contributing to make this discussion very, very important. All right. Question. Somebody's asking question here. Let me look at the questions. Um, Eugenia is asking, please, is emotional intelligence somehow related to artificial intelligence? Yeah. No, they are not. They are not related. They are not related. They are not related. But artificial intelligence is just trying to um, adopt practically what humans can do and then put them in robots or in things like that. Do you understand? So, or in what other artificial instrument that we can use to or apps to respond to certain things, but they are not humans. They may respond to certain things, but they may have limitations. Do you understand? They may have limitations. They may have limitations. Let's take, for instance, now there are certain apps, this AI, GBT, all right? If you ask them questions on current issues, they don't know. You ask them questions about the protest that is going on in Nigeria now, they don't know. You understand? So that is it. And there are certain questions you ask them, they don't know. So they have their limitations. So so they are not the same thing. They're different things. Let's look at so tomorrow we'll be looking at assessing emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence belongs to a day-to-day activities. That is what somebody is saying. Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can see any other question before we call it a day. So thank you very much for being part of this training and making it possible. Thank you for your contribution. We thank you for your shares. We are helping others to get to know about this training, and then it's also helping us to also educate people. And then because apart from those of you that join the training, other people will come across the videos and watch, and then they will learn something that will help their lives. And so this is the joy and this is the excitement, and this is what you are also contributing to achieve. Somebody's asking a question here. Women's Center for Self-Empowerment and Development, they're asking, what are the social and emotional skills we can teach students? Okay, and we talk about social skills like how to interpersonal skills, like how to relate, how to build relationship. Do you understand? How to culturally interact with other people from other cultures. Do you understand? You talk about maybe how a Muslim and a Christian should interact together, how a Igbo and a Yoruba should interact together. Do you understand? You are also teaching them some kind of social way of interaction in terms of uh, how they respect each other, how they, because for the fact that I'm from a minority tribe does not make me, a minority person in your presence. We are all students here and we can relate together. Do you understand? Or because you are black and white does not make us any different. We are all humans. That is the first thing. So, any form of discrimination is not accepted. So you teach them how to respect one another. You understand? And then welcome one another. And then those are social aspect of it. And then we'll talk about, so the emotions. Sometimes we respond to our emotion based on, sometimes on our cultural issues. Do you understand? And our backgrounds. Do you understand? So for instance, now when somebody says, talk about, okay, say, okay, my religion is better than your religion. How do you respond? Do you understand? Now, ordinarily, this kind of statement may make you angry. Do you understand? Right? And this make people to be angry, right? Yes, my religion is better than your religion. Now, if you are to help the student to understand that no religion is better than any religion, it's just for you to believe in what you believe in, and so far as it's helping you and helping your life, face it. Do you understand? That does not make your own better than my own. My own also is better because it's helping me. I believe in it, and it's helping me in my own way. Do you understand? So by the time we are able to embrace each other's belief system, then it makes the society better. Do you understand? So your belief system should not be a problem to my belief system. That is what they should know. So but sometimes we have people fight over this kind of statement. Do you understand? Enter into argument and abusive, insultive attitude. Do you understand? In a school environment, on a street, anywhere. Do you understand? To a point, some people even kill on account of this kind of statement. Do you understand? So, but we can help to teach the student to respond in this kind of, how do you regulate your emotion? How do you impulses? Like somebody said to you that my religion is better than your own. How do you respond? How do you regulate your emotions in this case now? So you teach them how to control, manage their anger. Do you understand? Anger, anger management, self control. Do you understand? Let them have self control. Regulate how they react to issues like this, statement like this. Do you understand? So anger management is one of the things that they need to know. Peer anger management is very important. So some of the things that you let them know, very, very important. Then we look at, is there any other question that I need to check? I think we have spent so much time. Uh, if there's any other question that I have not seen, maybe I will respond to it in the comments section. I will just answer as much as possible. I think I responded to some people like that yesterday. So if there's anyone that I need to respond like this, I'll still respond as much as possible. Thank you very much. We will meet by 7 o'clock on Thursday. We are not going to meet tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Wednesday we will not be meeting. We'll be meeting on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But we are not meeting on Wednesdays. Do you understand? So, but we can meet on Sundays in the evening by 7 p.m. when we are done with our services, we are done with other activities, and then all of that. So that's it. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. No, Thursday. Thursday. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night rest.